Hi, everyone. I am coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. And I just wanted to give you a quick update about everything. And so I am coming to you from this apartment complex, which is only about 2 years old. And it's in this really great area, which is about 10 minutes from where my mother lives in assisted living. And I'm considering renting an apartment here for just a short-term lease of a few months. I'm not exactly sure starting when. Good morning, Manjeet from India. And I'm good. I'm good. My mother's not good, but I'm good. And I am here visiting my mother. It's not a great time for me to be gone from my house, my garden, because of it's going to be sold. It's listed now, and so the first open house is Sunday. But I somehow I got everything done before I left. Good morning, Travis. This is just going to be a short update. I'm sorry for the no notice, but the place where I'm spending the nights here, I could not get paired on the internet. So I stopped back at this apartment complex, which I'm considering renting a short-term lease apartment so that I can be able to come and have a place to stay and see my mother more frequently. So I couldn't get paired on the internet over there, so I just stopped back over here and I said, can I just go live from your facility? And they said, sure. So, hey, Anna, Tampa, Florida. Hi, Beth. Yeah, Beth, you need to write me about November 8th, right? I think so. Do that, and we'll coordinate that trip down to San Diego. If anyone is in San Diego, or specifically northern San Diego, I'm going to be there on November the 8th. I am being hosted by Sausen, who I did a video with a few weeks ago. She came up and helped me harvest and showed me how to dry lemon verbena and mint. Where are you, Anna? Hi, Joanne. Speaking of Texas, one of the things I wanted to update you on is, so it was a surprise for me to go to Austin for one night, 12 hours. I had a 12-hour layover in Austin because I wanted to surprise my son for his 29th birthday, which I succeeded in doing, I thought. But like you guys, he knows me too well. Anyway, I posted on Instagram. Manjeet, I really would love to visit India, and I would have to have a host to sponsor me to do that. So that's entirely possible if I find a host that wants to bring me to India, and because it's a big country and it's an expensive trip, so that would be required. But we can talk about that next year when I get settled. Back to Texas, Tampa. Okay, so I posted on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram and you're on Instagram, please do. It's at Late Bloomer Show. Same thing for Twitter, same thing for Facebook. And follow me all those places, because the more social media presence you have, the more people in position of power in a production company or TV station or something will pay attention to you. So the social media following is very, very important in me moving forward with plans to have a show or on TV or anything like that. So I would love it if you would follow me on social media if you're on there. I'm hearing that there was no notification that I went live. I don't understand that. If you've got the red bell, did anybody else get notified? Because Steve did not get notified. Hi, Foxine. Oh, you have 5 accounts. You're worse than me. Oh, I would love to go to Mumbai. Are you anywhere near Mumbai, Manjeet? Okay, Steve, they got notified. I don't know what happened. So anyway, let me finish the Texas thing. So on Tuesday, I made a surprise trip into Austin, Texas, and coordinated with my son's girlfriend, and we met at a wonderful restaurant called Cafe Josie's. And Austin has so many restaurants. My son said if they ate out every night, it would take years and years to eat at them all. But anyway, this place was very good, and he looked pretty surprised. He looked more happy than surprised. And I thought, and so afterwards I said, you were surprised, right? And he said, I had texted him earlier. My intention for the text was to throw him off base, but I think he knows me too well, I guess. And so I had said something like, I'm sending you something for your birthday. I hope it gets there today. And I thought that would be communicate to him that I was definitely not going to be there for his birthday. But it actually had the opposite effect. So anyway, hi, Stephen. Trudy, hi. North Jersey, my friend in North New Jersey. Okay, so that's the Texas thing. So I caught a plane. I got up at 5 and we left at 5:45 for the airport. And so I was in Nashville by 8:25 in the morning. So that was an easy flight. So these things are good for me to know. I'm in California. It's easy to get to Austin. It's easy to get to Nashville from Austin. And so, because obviously you've probably gleaned, because all of my family, all of my immediate family, my siblings and their children are either in Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee, or right over the Virginia border. So with all the things that are going on in California, especially the fires, I'm drawn to being, and everybody's wondering where I'm going to go, but I'm older. I want to be around my family. I've been the one person in my family for decades that has been way out in California. And I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother had a brother who came out to California, and it was just like, what? That's way out there in California. And it was like they never saw this person. And I haven't felt that way in 40, and I've been out there for 30 years. I haven't felt that way in 30 years, that I'm so disconnected. But I don't know, when you get older, it's just things change. And now that Walker has settled in Austin, Nashville is a lot closer to Austin than Los Angeles. So good morning. Okay, no, I don't know what's going on with that. Hey, Jay Henry, let's see. Wonderful. I have someone else on from India. That is Manjeet. You can scroll up. I'm going to call you Nick. Nicholesh. Anyway, so that's the story with that. I am thinking about, when you sell a house, you don't have the money right away. And it hasn't even been seen yet. So it could be a while. It could be months. I don't know how long it's going to be. So obviously I can't buy anything for a while. I can only buy something after I sell my house. So in the meantime, I have to have a landing place. That's what I'm calling it. So I have found a landing place in Santa Monica. I won't have a garden there. So I'm looking for a garden space where I can garden in either the Palisades or Santa Monica. Hi, Carl. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, Faithful Flowers. I always have the hardest time remembering your actual name. Malaysia, Gregory, thank you for joining. Um, Jay Henry is, you're coming to Tennessee when you retire. Lisa, good morning. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so that's that. That's all I know about that right now. I am very aware of the very high fire danger in at home where I live. And I just walked into this place and saw on the television that there is a raging fire in Sonoma County. Can you imagine? Sonoma just got decimated in 2017, and it looked very bad. So I have Celine, who is my new helper. I think you've seen her in a recent video. She is the daughter of a very good friend of mine, and she's a recent college graduate. She wanted to go into graphic design, and so until she finds her perfect job, she's helping me, and she helped me develop my new website, which I launched last few months ago, kcottrell.com. That's where we brought everything under one roof. It's a very clean, simple website. It has everything, that all about my acting, my writing, my screenplays, my photography, and my YouTube channel, and all of that. I still have latebloomershow.com, which is just all about my channel and my gardening. But I just now have the 2 websites instead of 3. I used to have a Kay Cottrell photography website when I did a lot more portrait photography. And Steve was mentioning that he was very surprised at my most recent video where I take you inside my house and talk a little bit about art. And that's not something that most people know about me, but I told my parents when I was 5 years old that I was going to be an artist. And I have fulfilled that in one fashion or another my whole life. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in studio art, printmaking, and drawing. That's my undergraduate degree. And then I also took a course in Paris after that, and was in Paris, France for 6 weeks taking that course. It was an art course over there. And so I've always been interested in art. I collect art. I have an art collection. I sell art. I make art. But my art began to be photography when I had my son Walker. Because when you have a baby, you're not going to be getting out all your pencils and paints and all that stuff. And so I found that taking black and white photography seriously, and I started doing that when I had a baby, and I got very, very into that photography. And so I have a dark room, and you'll see that. I'm gonna take a little tour of my house that is on display. Some of the furniture is not mine. It's been supplemented by the stager, and I'll give you a tour of the garden as well. Now that Celine is back, she can shoot it, and we can go around, and I can walk and talk and show you we can take a tour of the whole, what the customer would see if they were coming to look at my house and my property. Good morning, Ed. I hope to see you soon. Yes. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. That is the best compliment anyone could give me, and I appreciate that. And so I'll be doing that when I get back. I'll be back very late on Friday night. I started, Nicolesh, you need to go back to season 1 of Late Bloomer and watch the very first episode, which premiered in 2012 on Earth Day, April 22nd. And it explains how I got into it and how long I've been doing it and why I'm doing it. So I hope you'll watch that video. Epic Animations, good morning. Fantastic. This is totally impromptu. literally didn't know where I was going to do this a few minutes ago. And I just thought, hey, I just stopped by to see this apartment complex yesterday. And she showed me this area out here. There's a pool in front of me. They don't heat it. And what good is a pool that isn't heated? Ridiculous. And they built this long pool and they put a divider in the middle. I said, why did you put a concrete divider in the middle of the pool? We could swim laps. You could put a lap right down the middle. People. Anyway, they only think of pools as resort style, where you just lay around in the sun and read a book and you dip off to get cool. But anyway, so no one was here, and I thought, hey, I'll just stop there. And she said, sure, go ahead. So I'm on their internet and I'm live streaming. So I'm here in Nashville to see my mother. And if you've been following me, my mother has steadily gone downhill this year. She rallied in September. I was here for Labor Day, and we celebrated her 90th birthday early. And she got to see most of her immediate family. And but then it's just with a whole year. I mean, she's fallen. After that birthday, after I left, she rallied, and she wanted to go through all of her things and organize and do this and do that, and she wound up falling and getting a lumbar compression fracture, which is very, very painful, but you can't really do anything about it for an elderly person. Hey, Tracy. I know. I was going to try to do a live stream with my mother, but I was in a shock yesterday seeing her. She looked so good at Labor Day, and then yesterday she looked so weak. She was so weak, and part of the course, I've had a lot of injuries trying to get this house together. And 2 weeks ago, I sprained my ankle, and I don't know if I can get it up that high. I still have, well, you can't see it, but it's wrapped. And I was icing it last night. I haven't stopped to take care of it properly. And I'm staying with my sister-in-law's sister and brother and husband, and he was a college basketball coach, and now he coaches high school. And he was making me ice it last night, and he said I should be icing it 3 times a day. And going, who's got time for that? So anyway, as I was lifting that last huge batch, day before Monday, morning before last, to get it into the garage and out of sight for the photos, I pulled something in here, just across here, and boy, is that sore. I know, Anna, I know. I'm just trying to do too much, but I had to. I really wanted to come and see my mother, and once the showings start happening, I've got a cat at home. I don't know how I'm going to deal with all of that stuff. So, and I have to move. So I've got my hands full back there. And I'm also 10 days behind in editing. I've shot probably, you haven't even seen the sprained ankle video yet. Oh, there's a lot of videos I have to edit when I get back. But I got all that really, really hard work done. So hopefully I can just go into my office. You wouldn't recognize my office. I don't recognize my office. It's like, wow, I really want to live here now. This office is awesome. It was always just packed with stuff. And now it looks so clean and neat. And I think, wow, my whole house, I'm going, wow, I really want to live here. It's so nice. But anyway. That isn't to be. So not by choice, but it has to be put on the market, and it is on the market. So I'm just trying to be okay with all of that. Okay, see ya, Ed. And let's see. So what else? So I will go from here. I'm going to go have some lunch. My mother has a caregiver until 1 o'clock, and she's got a very small little place. And I got there yesterday before the caregiver left, and it was kind of like I'm in her way, she's in my way. And so I thought, well, I'll just arrive more closer to 1 o'clock, and then I'll spend from 1 o'clock till like 8 o'clock tonight with her. And the same thing, I guess the same thing tomorrow. I don't know. I have a late flight tomorrow to get back home. And Celine is watching over my property and feeding my cat and watering my plants because it's so hot and dry there. The Santa Ana winds have ignited a fire in Sonoma County. I just saw that. I'm almost afraid to watch that news story. Hey, Carrie F. Yes, me too, Carrie. Why don't you, Carrie, where are you located? I don't exactly remember your name, and I'm wondering if we've communicated before. You should write to me. I think there's mileage for some kind of a creative project to come out of this, in addition to my late bloomer videos. I don't know yet. When I first started, what do you think about this idea? I said I was going to write a book. And I've never published a book before. I've never published anything but articles. And I was thinking about publishing a book called I Saved Everything. What do you think about that? And so, I mean, I saved everything. And maybe you have when I think about the stuff that went out at that estate sale, I had a box this big in my garage for 25 years, and it was all the theater playbills of every play I had seen in New York. And when you're an actor in New York, you go to a lot of plays, some of which had been autographed. Yes, some of them had been autographed I would stand like a groupie behind the theater and get, for example, someone who I really admired was Ralph Fiennes. And if all you follow of his work is Lord of the Rings, then Harry Potter. Sorry, Harry Potter. He played, what did he play? Voldemort, right? Lord Voldemort. I think I said that right. For all of you Harry Potter fans. Edith, hi. Yes, Edith, that's a good idea, Edith. Except, I started, what I did was, because I have so many interests, I had so many interests before I got into gardening. All of that stuff got shelved when I got into gardening. And for example, I collected vintage buttons. I can remember saying one time in a taxi, going into Manhattan, returning to Manhattan after not having been there in 10 years. And I was saying, buttons are my life. I used to always say art is my life. Now I say gardening is my life, because it really is. I think about planting seeds, and I think about wanting to grow everything. And you can't grow everything everywhere. You can grow a lot of stuff in California, though. A lot of stuff I can grow over there that I'm not going to be able to grow in Tennessee. So, yes, Carrie. Oh, yes, I have that. Oh, I have 2 Ralph Fiennes stories. I have 2. One time, he was in a play in New York, another play. The one that I waited in the back of the theater was when he played Hamlet. And that was 2 decades ago, at least. And about a decade ago, he played another. It was a play I wasn't familiar with, but I had seen the play the night before, and the night after, I was waiting in a very typical after theater bar in Manhattan with a good friend of mine, Mike, from the old days. Mike and I always hung out, and we were having a drink in this bar, and around the time that the plays were getting out, and so we had been sitting there having a drink and talking for like at least an hour and a half, maybe longer. And so we said, okay, we're going to call it. And so I said, let me run to the restroom and then we'll go. And so I come back from the restroom, and who is sitting in the seat that I occupied for an hour and a half? Ray Fiennes, yes. And I walked right up to him and I said, hello, Rafe. I'm Kay Cottrell. I just washed my hands. And I put out my hand and I said, I'm a friend of my friend Mary Riley, and he had done a play at Brooklyn Academy of Music. So of course he knew Mary. And he stood up and he shook my hand and he introduced me to the director and the actors in the play. And it was one of those great New York stories. I did kind of, Carrie. I did kind of say that. I said I just was sitting in that seat for like an hour. Anyway, very, very nice. Good morning, Angel. Well, thank you, Jana. Is it short A or long A? Jana or Jana? I haven't heard that spelling. Tracy, that's the thing, right? Especially when you get animals. Tracy just said, Tracy is on a family farm in Pennsylvania, and she is on the top of my to visit list when I get to 100,000 subscribers, because I think I'm setting that as my goal. When I have 100,000 subscribers, I feel like I'll have enough income coming in from Google Ads to travel again. And so everybody, if you just keep sharing my channel and keep watching and liking my videos, the YouTube algorithms will kick in and maybe I can get there. We're already at deep into October. And so I just hit 49,000. So I got a ways to go to get to 100. I'm really hoping that I can get to 60 by the end of the year. And I can do that. I can do that with your help. So if you guys keep sharing and watching long watch times, all of that adds up, and YouTube keeps track of all of that. So that's my goal. Anyway, Tracy is in Pennsylvania. She has a small family farm, and she was just saying that she had all these interests in farming, pushed them aside. Yes, because especially when you get animals. And Steve, my friend Steve in Illinois, was saying, he's tied down by 13 chickens and a rabbit. So I'm only tied down by one senior cat. So I want to keep it that way for now until I figure out where I'm going to be. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Foxine, my brother-in-law makes pens. He makes not fountain pens. He makes pens from scratch. And Edith, you're right. He is so awesome. Let's see. Yes, Tracy, I hope you're right. Cherie Cardina, where are you? Cherie, I was just in Austin. Hello, Terry. Tomcat. Let's see. Oh, so I'll hit Trudy and then I'll hit Tracy. Trudy and Tracy in one trip. That sounds awesome. Austin is great, Cherie, and I was very happy I hadn't been there in at least 20 years. And I got there. I literally took an Uber to a restaurant where I sat until it was night, obviously, and we went to his house, and then it was still dark, and I went to the airport. So I really didn't get a sense of anything about Austin. Let's see. Yes, mealy bugs are disgusting, Foxine. Um, and they are white cottony things. There are actually other white cottony things that are disgusting in the garden, but that's one of them. White fly is sometimes it's hard to distinguish white fly, the various stages of life of the white fly and the mealybug sometimes kind of look very similar. The way you know white fly in the beginning is it's in a white little spiral on the backside of the leaf. But then as those eggs hatch or whatever, they kind of start looking a little bit like white powdery things like mealybugs, and all that stuff has to go as far as I'm concerned. Oh, thank you, Terry. Did I get it? Did I respond? And where did you send it? If I like music. What do you think? Of course I like music. Ezekiel Yang, where are you writing from? No. Yeah, Jana. Steve in Illinois did not have luck with loofah either. And I think there just wasn't enough hot weather up there on Facebook. Then I got it. I must have gotten it, and I must have responded. I hope I did. Yes, I'm worried about the fires also. I'm not there. I just have to sort of let it go and not be all anxious about it. It helps communicating with friends, and that really takes a lot of the pressure off. And so anyway, I'm happy to be here, and I can see that very soon I'm probably going to be spending maybe as much as half my time in Nashville, in Tennessee, and starting out in Nashville, so I can see my mother. And I have been offered a free place to stay at the place I'm staying, and they're the most generous, loving people. But I kind of want my own place, you know. It's not like I'm 20 anymore. Weld plant for my ankle, Anna. And the name of the plant for your ankle, weld plant. I assumed that you were thinking of comfrey, because comfrey would be good for my ankle too. It's just I used a lot of comfrey compresses when I broke my shoulder. God, it just seems like I've had a string of injuries in the last 2 years. Anyway, I used comfrey. I have so much comfrey out there, but it's really messy, and it stains everything green. So I found using it was a bit of a pain, That's right, Foxine. Well, Cherie, I thought about it, and I considered it for about a half a minute, and I don't know, my son did not say, "Yeah, Mom, that's a great idea. We'd love to have you here." Since I did not get that response, I kind of shelved it. I kind of thought, okay, well, now if they get married and have children, I'm going to want to be close by. So that's always a possibility. Now, Kate, I don't see Kate on. This was a total surprise live stream, and I don't see Kate. I owe Kate a phone call inside Kate's kitchen. She's usually one of our moderators. Do we even have a moderator on today? I haven't seen anybody. Who's going to Graceland? Tomcat. I did go to Graceland, actually. Uh, I grew up in Tennessee, and I had never been to Graceland. And I went to Graceland about, I want to say, 4 or 5 years ago. And it was interesting. My mother was a huge Elvis fan. Oh, golly. And anybody like Elvis out there? Well, I sure did like Elvis, and I was very, very sad that his life took the turn it took. But I guess it was predestined. I don't know. But anyway, in his early years, boy, he was something else. Something else. Anyway, so going to Graceland, you think at one time that house would have been a mansion. And, that place doesn't hold a candle to half of the properties in Los Angeles. And it's all full of shag carpeting, gold and turquoise. Anyway, so Cherie, I don't see myself being in Austin full time. Who's talking about a ski resort? That's where I want to be. Yeah, we don't have a moderator today. I probably better not stay on very long. That's fantastic, Trudy. And Trudy, try to keep something going. I don't know if you can. Try to keep something going that started with the seeds that I sent you. That would be cool. If when I come, then you have that. Right, Tomcat. Oh my God. What town, Trudy? What town? I love to ski. I got robbed of my opportunity to ski in Idaho with this stupid broken arm that never should have happened. Yeah, but is it shag, Remington? Is it shag carpeting? It almost seems like I've been to the Biltmore house. I can't remember now. Maybe I've just seen pictures. If I did, it was a very long time ago. Yeah, Trudy, my one of my dearest old friends. In fact, if you were on this whole time, you heard me talking about being in Paris for 6 weeks. That's where I met Mary. I have 2 Marys in New York, one in Brooklyn. She's also the one. Mary in Brooklyn is also the one that arranged for me to meet Jeremy Irons last year. And that was a real highlight, getting to meet him after his play in Los Angeles. And are there any Jeremy Irons fans out there? If you have only seen The Lion King, you've heard him voice the character of Scar. And he's an amazing actor. I know. I know. Shag was it. Shag was it. What? Carrie, you'll be living by Schweitzer Mountain in Idaho? You'll be living near there? Are you kidding me? I'll take you up on that if you have a guest room. Oh la la, Paris, mon chéri, yes. Mon français est très, très mal. That means my French is very, very bad. I can understand a little bit and I can say a little bit, enough to get around. Oh, yeah, I agree. I'm a huge fan of her. The pinnacle of his career. Are we talking about Jeremy Irons? Was Scar? Because his career is alive and well. Let me tell you, I saw him in a 3.5-hour play in Los Angeles last summer, and he was amazing. And he came up. Most of my family is here, Glenna. I was explaining all that. If you have a chance, go back and listen. And I'm from here. That's why my family's here. And I've always been the black sheep that lived way out in California. And so that's true. That's true, Tomcat. Oh, you saw who on Broadway? Jeremy Irons? Is that who we're talking about now? Jay Henry? Anyway, my Jeremy Irons story is my friend Mary had arranged for me to meet the company manager before the play. I got a free seat. I got to sit close, and I watched the whole play. And then she said, just go up to the cafe after, and Jeremy will come up and meet you. And I thought, oh my God, there's going to be 100 people there, That's in a cafe. I mean, there are hundreds of people at this performance, maybe thousands, I don't know. And, but after the play, everyone just vanished, in LA, they don't like to stay out late. And it was a 3.5-hour play. And I mean, within 10 minutes after that play, that lobby was empty. And here comes Jeremy Irons out of the elevator with his ascot or whatever he was wearing. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Anyway, and he walks up to me and he goes, "You must be Mary's friend." And I go, "Yes." And he says, "Will you have a drink?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Will you have?" And I said, "Whatever you're having." And so he got are there any whiskey drinkers out there? May have been bourbon. I can't. It was a Kentucky bourbon. It was called Buffalo something. And that was a real highlight, getting to sit and have a drink with him. Let's see. Yes, I did the best I could, Tom. He is a married man. Let's see. Oh, Charles is on, everybody. Old Alabama Gardener is on. It's hard for him to get on Sundays because he goes to church. And so he's just tuned in, I think. And so everybody say hello to Charles at Old Alabama Gardener. Charles, I am in an apartment complex, which is about 10 minutes drive from my mother's facility where she lives. And she's really gone downhill, and I'm hoping she rallies. Everybody, if you are a prayerful person and you have the inclination, you could say a prayer for my mother. I would love for her to rally a little bit, because I haven't been able to spend very much time with her because I've been in California and I'm always so busy with gardening and late bloomer. And so, Charles, my house is for sale. And so I am thinking about, my brother is really pushing me. One of my brothers, is the brother that lives here, is really pushing me. And he told me about this apartment complex where I can get a short-term lease and be close to my mother and just have a chance to look around and look at properties and figure out my next move, and see if perhaps I can get an acting agent in Nashville. There are things happening here. There's a big performing arts complex. So there is possibilities. There's a lot of possibilities for gardening, and there's a lot of possibilities. And he's very intent upon getting me out of California. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. Hey, Mr. Tom is here from Alabama also. Deep South Bama with Mr. Tom. And he is here. And thank you, Anna. Oh, Emily, Charlie baby, that's actually Emily Bowker. She is just tuned in and she is saying hello. She's one of my big fans, and thank you for joining us. You'll have to go back and watch, Emily. I was trying to update everybody on what my plans are. And so I think I did all that. I'm hoping that I can get my mother. It's just too cold to get her outside, I think. And just since Labor Day, she's now in a wheelchair, and I just, whew, just this woman was a force of nature. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. And to see a force of nature, just go downhill like that so fast has been. I was in shock yesterday. So that's probably why I'm procrastinating getting over there. She does have a caregiver till 1:00. Oh my gosh, it's 12:08, and I've got to eat some lunch and get over there soon. So I think I better sign off. I've talked and talked. I've talked and talked and talked. But I've just so enjoyed and so been humbled and filled up with everyone's support during this transition in my life of where I am going to be searching for Late Bloomer Garden 2.0. And in the meantime, I have to create content. So I will have a number of more videos from my garden and all the sort of finishing up of my garden in Los Angeles and figuring out where my next. I have a feeling, just with the way things are, there's a 10-year wait for a community garden spot in Santa Monica and around somewhere on the west side. It's like 10 years on a waiting list to get a community garden plot. So that's out. And, unless I just happen to make contact with someone who wants my expertise and can fund the garden, buy the amendments, buy the plants, all of that, and let me film there. I mean, that's a tall order. That's a tall order for me to be able to find that. I believe it exists, but will I be able to connect with someone to do that, in the very near future? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Emily. Romesa, you can do it. Kay, yes, I'm trying, one step at a time. Yes, Mr. Tom, and if I get back here, it's not an if, I will get back here to spend some time. I'll be sure and try to get down to Alabama and meet you. Okay, are you leaving, Jay Henry? All right, take care, thank you. And Charles thinks so, of course, too. And Cherie, I would not be very far from Austin if I'm in Nashville. Thank you, Tracy. Go take care of those animals. Yes, somebody reminded me yesterday to breathe, and I did. And I thought, wow, I should do that more often. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Jana. Romesa, we're just tuning out. Mernita, thank you. Mernita, please go back and watch the live stream. And Charles, Deadly Wound is a very good friend of mine. That's Steve in Illinois. So he is telling you to keep telling me to move here. I do feel like I could be an Austinite. I really do. I just feel like it would put too much pressure on my son. Me being there, and he would feel like he would have to. I don't know. We'll see. Daryl, where have you been? I'm signing off. I've got to go. Go back and watch it, will you, Daryl? I should have texted. Well, I can't text you. I should have sent you an email, but I literally wasn't exactly sure. I put something. Did anybody, by the way, anybody that's still left, by the way, hit these guys. There's 56 online and only 32 of those. Yes, I know, Cherie. Absolutely. Thank you, Anna. What was it saying? Did anybody see my community? I posted on my community page yesterday, so that should be in your feed. And I said I was going to be having a live stream today. I wasn't sure what time, so to watch for it. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody saw that. But anyway, if I get a chance, I'll do another one. And if I don't get a chance, I will see you on Sunday. I will try to, I'm getting back very late on Friday night. Eric will be at the garden on Saturday. I don't really have, well, what I really want to do is I want to plant carrots in 5-gallon pots. That's what I want to do. I would have to find a place to put those pots, for the winter. So, but I've got the 5-gallon pots, and I've got the soil. All I need are some seeds. But it's this technique that I saw. Someone was following me, watched one of my videos. He was writing me for a while, and I forgot the channel name, unfortunately. And I went to his channel, and he had a video on the best way to grow carrots in a container. And it was just brilliant. And I could not believe the carrots that he produced out of this 5-gallon pot. And I thought, man, if he can do that, I can do that. So I really want to do that. Hi, Michael. Where are you writing from? I'm just about to get off. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. So anyway, guys, I will see you at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday morning, coming to you from Late Bloomer Garden 1.0. I appreciate all of your support. Make sure you order a Late Bloomer t-shirt if you haven't already. It's never too late to learn to grow vegetables, and it's never too late to buy a t-shirt. So I appreciate all your support. If you are ordering from Amazon, go through my link and I'll get a few cents for those purchases because I am an affiliate member. That's amazon.com/shop/Late Bloomer Show. Very easy. Anything you buy, once you're inside my link, I will get a few pennies for. So I appreciate your support any way you can give it, most especially sharing this channel so that I can get to 100,000 subscribers sooner rather than later. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Bye.